GM everyone, Lil Panda here with Index Card. We are doing a quick, kind of spontaneous live stream here. We're talking all about Hackweek. This is going to be a Hackweek pregame show with Index Card and Lil Panda. We will get into it right after this quick little intro. All right, GM everyone, GM Index Card. How are you this morning?
GM Lil Panda, pretty excited because Hack Week just went live today, and there's a lot of opportunity and ETH on the line this week.
Me too. I'm excited. We're going to try and cap this stream to 30 minutes. We want to get through all that we can, but we also want to make this quick and digestible for anyone who might be new to nouns, might be used to nouns, prop house users, new people to prop house. We want to kind of cover the gamut, do an overview of the whole week. So let's jump right into it. This Hack Week is funded by a nouns prop, right? Index?
Yeah, so Martin and kind of the team over at Explorer Grants, as you can see, the prop was proposed by Explorer Grants themselves. And they've been talking, specifically Martin mostly, about the idea of a nouns Hack Week. And instead of kind of in person, it's more distributed and on the internet. And essentially just a chance for anyone in nouns or adjacent to nouns or thinking about getting into nouns. And kind of like giving a week of like approval to work on anything kind of they wanted to, crazy ideas, maybe drop their projects for a moment, pick up something they've always wanted to do. And so he kind of just took the idea, ran with it. It's even though they proposed it, it's sort of like headless in a sense, in that anyone can kind of build on top of it or add to it. And we've already seen one group kind of do that with the noun square. But yeah, the idea, there's a couple different tracks and prize pools, but really just kind of like hack on anything you want to this week and see where it takes you.
And in fact, we're going to be hacking on our own little prop for Hack Week. But before we get into that, we had 99 ETH, right, funded to this week. So 99 ETH is going to go out the door for projects that are hacked together this week, March 27th through April 2nd, right?
Yeah, I kind of like, I mean, we've been playing around with it ourselves, but like this idea of the deadlines and just picking like dates and sticking to it and whatever comes from it. And that's kind of like what we do with these live streams. Like if we have something to do, we just hop on the live stream. And if, we get it done by the end of it or not, that's kind of what we got. So that's like the concept in a broader sense. Pick this week, whatever you got, submit. And if you want to continue building, you can. But yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, so let's see. This is broken down. This 99 ETH is broken down into 5 different rounds. So let's kind of get an overview there. So first, the start is they all close for submissions on April 2nd in 6 days. So I want to make sure everyone knows that you can hack all you want, but if you don't submit by April 2nd, you're not going to win. So it looks like the deadline is, let's maybe get in a specific timing. Does it end at 6 p.m. Eastern, or what time are these things ending? Looks like 10 p.m. my time, so that's going to be 11:59 p.m. Eastern time on April 2nd.
Yeah, you're right there. So pretty much, I guess, kind of centered around the Eastern time. Probably picked it because it kind of falls somewhat in the middle of people in Europe and people on the West Coast. But yeah, once that clock strikes on April 2nd, which would be Sunday, that's kind of it. Pens down, pencils down, code down, and you just got to hit submit.
Yep. All right, so got that out of the way. Then let's see what the categories are, and why don't we start here with number one? There are 5 different categories. This first one here is for developers, developers. I feel like we're gonna need that meme. Let
That's
me
a
grab
classic
that.
meme.
A little bomber meme. Let's see. Let's do this one.
I feel like that was one of like the early memes in my internet life, to be honest.
Yeah. Yeah, Steve Ballmer, famous at one of the Microsoft events for getting hype. So this round is all about um, developers. So this round seeks anyone who's building something technical related to nouns. Could be anything. So some ideas here: an alt front end, a contract upgrade, a mobile app, hardware. All you need is an MVP. And this prizes here is going to be 3 ETH times 10. So that is quite a bit of ETH to give out in a prop house round. This reminds me of kind of early prop house days. 30 ETH in one round. That's a lot.
Yeah, kind of depends, how it falls, but we're both in the United States. So in terms of US dollars, that's about $5,000 per prize, give or take, fluctuations, but that's not too bad for a week of hacking around.
Yep. I'm working on a mobile app with my friend Jash for Prop House. But yeah, you can really kind of do anything. So this one will be fun to see since there are 10 prizes, man. This is going to be a bonanza. Um, my understanding is really just kind of looking for MVPs, not looking for super detailed branding or functionality, but really just kind of an MVP. Although whoever gets the most votes, the top 10 props that get the most votes are going to win. So, one thing about Prop House is there's no real rules for voting. It's just going to go to the 10 submissions that have the most votes, right?
Yeah, I mean, the rules are pretty simple. There's um, the voting token, which for this is the nouns NFT, like the official nouns NFT itself. And let's see, there's 650 or something of those tokens. And so that's kind of the rule. One of those tokens is 10 votes, typically in the nouns house. And anything else is kind of extra to the rules of the game.
Yep. So let's, since you might be watching us on replay, you might be watching us live, but we're going to do this as though you have no nouns knowledge. And so I'm going to start out here at prop.house. Prop house is the, let's see, it's the Coliseum, it is the forum, it is the playing field for all these rounds. What is prop house?
In the meme form, the auction in reverse. But yeah, so like the main vehicle for nouns is there's a daily auction where people put up their ETH, and in return, if they put up the most, they get the NFT, and that NFT allows you a vote. But Prop House kind of flips that, and the ETH is almost in a sense being auctioned off, and your bids become your ideas, your proposals, your submissions, kind of whatever that might be for each round. And the whole concept of Prop House, if you scroll up a little bit, kind of in that tagline, get funded to build with your favorite communities. And so there's a plethora of communities that have come on. They put up either ETH prizes, other non-ETH prizes such as like NFTs themselves, and you put your idea, your proposal out there, and if the voters of that house and that community like it, you receive that reward, whatever it might be. And for Hackweek specifically, it's kind of a lot of ETH.
Yep. I feel like design tip for CDT or Seneca here is get some kind of banner or something that shows Hack Week. But until we get that, let me show you Prop House. We're going to go to nouns to find these houses for Hackweek. And then there's an open round here, but the Hackweeks are following that. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So let's start here with developers. Again, we talked about this. Look at this. We already have 2 submissions.
Wow, 2 submissions off the bat. Okay.
Triggity-tron, longtime Lil Nouner, and Nogglebot, Nounish GPT. Interesting. Yeah, early submissions tend to do quite well in my experience. But yeah, it'll be fun to see how this plays out. We got 2 submissions already. Yeah. So let's see. Anything else to say about this round?
Yeah, so this round, I guess if we look at the description a little bit further here, the category is focused on developers. Build something technical related to nouns. All you need is a cool MVP, and you get 3 ETH as a thank you for your work and as like a nod to continue working on your project. And they give a few ideas of what you maybe could work on, such as an alternative nouns front end, a contract upgrade, mobile app, or like some sort of nounish hardware. But really, in a sense, it's kind of broad, and technically, nothing is stopping you from submitting anything in each house. It always probably helps to stick with kind of like the prompt and kind of build off that. But if you have any sort of idea, you can submit it. But it's cool to see some options and some kind of like rough guide rails of what Martin and the Explorer team might want to see.
Yep. Although what they would say, I think I had Martin on the stream last week, 2 weeks ago, is I think he would say, hey, this is a headless event. He's not in charge. He's not being paid for this. All the funds from this round go to this Hackweek. So yeah, it's a fun experiment. Why don't we go on to number 2 here? This is the art, design, and media. This is index. This card, this round looks like it's right up your alley for some index art.
I know it's speaking to me. I don't know if I have any ideas right off the bat, but that's what the week is for, you know. But yeah, so these categories kind of cover the broad spectrum of the nounish ecosystem, as we know. The project itself, nouns, a team of artists and developers got together to create the project. So we saw the developer track, and now here it's kind of like the art track, and it's a little bit less ETH, but still quite a bit. 2 ETH times 10 for 20 ETH total. And again, like there's some rough guidelines here, but art, design, and media is fairly open-ended, and I think we're going to see some really kind of wide spectrum of submissions personally. But then maybe this is kind of like the round for me. Maybe the round for you too. Right? You're a media guy.
I think it's a round for us, my friend.
Yeah. I think this round is going to get a lot of submissions, a lot of good ones. And I'm excited to see kind of what comes of it.
Oh yeah, I agree. Let's see, what's 0 props so far. Why don't you could we show off something that you might submit for this? Have we created anything together that might be eligible? Something like, what's a quick idea for someone watching that they might be able to do to submit here? Like my onion video, that might be one.
Yeah, I mean, kind of like what we're doing right now is in some sense within the scope of this round, kind of like live streaming some content. This will go out to YouTube. This will go out maybe to Twitter if we. So this is an example right here of maybe something that could be submitted. But I've also kind of done small little variations of nounish traits and like artwork derivatives. That could be a submission. It's really kind of anything. A song. I would love to see a song. We know Super Ty Woody over there has made some Nounish songs.
Yep. While I'm going through this, I noticed that these all have this snapshot here. So what does that mean, and what is the relevance of this snapshot here? It says 16918862. How are people? What are people supposed to make of that? What does that mean?
So kind of like the way prop house rounds work. You have the house, and that house has a token, and that token gives voting rights. And a snapshot is essentially a snapshot or a picture of holders of that token at a specific point in time. And so that number represents an Ethereum block. And so at Ethereum block 169188862, whoever held the Nouns NFT token are the ones that are able to vote in the round. And so once that's set, it doesn't really change. And that kind of just sets some parameters for the voting process so that people can't really buy or shuffle votes too much after the round starts.
So that means if you owned a noun as of March 27th, 12:57 p.m. UTC, you're eligible to vote. Any changes to noun ownership after then, not relevant.
And delegates too. We should probably add that not all noun holders vote. Some delegate out. So if you were delegated or own the noun, you qualify at that point.
That's right. Okay, let's move right along here. We're trying to keep this show to 30 minutes. We're about halfway through. We're on track. Let's go to the third category here. This says IRL and other weird stuff. Another 2 ETH by 10. This is going to be a bonanza, isn't it?
Yeah, like I feel like as we're going down through these first three developers, we're gonna see some great stuff. The art and design one, and then this one really kind of just puts it out there. It doesn't quite fit into the other categories. Anything in real life, physical, community oriented, or just something especially weird. And so it's really, really like kind of anything.
I feel like this category
especially weird.
It's ripe. This category is ripe for me and you, my friend.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of ideas are like things we're already kind of working on are popping into my mind. But yeah, anything in real life, physical, community oriented, or just something especially weird. This is going to be a juicy round for sure.
I also love this here. The purpose of this round is to thank builders for their work. Nouns is all about thanking people, and I think that's wonderful, wonderful message to take. Gosh, we're gonna have to come up with this in 6 days. No submissions yet on this especially weird category, but again, 2 week times 10. Man, this is big money coming here.
Yeah, it's no joke. And 10 winners per round is very generous. So, like, if you have an idea, or maybe you've been sitting on something for a while, and you don't submit it this week, you just kind of got to get to it. I think this is a great opportunity for people to get their feet wet and get some funding under them. I'm already thinking of other people that I feel like I should encourage to submit.
Who are you thinking of?
I mean, most recently, Mr. Brian.
Oh, absolutely.
Right? Like, I really want to come to him and encourage him, and maybe even we can help guide him. But if I don't see a submission from him, I'll be disappointed, if I can say that.
We got to get him on stream too. That guy works. That guy understands nouns. Shout out, Mr. Brian. All right. So we're here about 20 minutes in. We're about 2/3 of the way through. So let's get to the finales here. We got grand prizes. Now this one might be a little bit confusing because these are divided up into new contributors and current contributors. But basically it looks like this is a grand prize. This is sort of, if you do your entry for the first three and then you can submit for either number 4 or 5 based on who you are. Is that how you read this, Index?
Yeah. Again, like with Prop House, they're even though there's these guidelines, there really are no rules. So you could technically submit to anything, but I think we'll see people shoot their shot for the smaller rounds and then also kind of go for this round. And I'm curious to see if we will see people only submit to one round and not the other. But as far as I'm concerned, I think you're good to post in either if you feel like you fit it and you want a chance. But yeah, kind of just like a bigger reward. Maybe for bigger ideas, maybe not. And then you also the bonus with this one is that you kind of win support from the Explorer Grants team after this hack week is over. So that's kind of like a big one there. Maybe they'll guide you to get more funding in the future or work on a bigger prop idea. But yeah, this one comes with a little more ETH and a little bit of guidance outside of hack week.
And these are, again, you don't have to you don't have to build a separate project. These are for you do 1, 2, or 3, then you can also submit for 4 or 5. So no extra work, but the possibility of a $10,000 bonus.
Yeah. I mean, you might as well submit for them all, right?
Yeah, absolutely. That's my philosophy. Geez, you know what I'm thinking of here is, gosh, I got to hit for the cycle. I feel like I could do a dev, an art design and media, an IRL thing, and submit
The
for
grand
number
prize.
5. It's
I
like
like
a Prop House Hack Week Grand Slam.
Yeah. I feel like if someone achieves that, they deserve a very special prize.
Seems totally doable though, doesn't it? I mean, don't you think you could get together 3 entries plus a grand prize entry?
Me personally, maybe you. I see you. Me, it'll be a stretch, but yeah, I don't know. Like, I think I was on a podcast real quick with Brooke, and I said that Nouns is really great because you can kind of do anything, and you're like encouraged to do things that you normally wouldn't do. So maybe prior to Nouns, you weren't really an artist or a developer or doing like in real life stuff, but it's kind of encouraged to explore these avenues in Nouns, and so maybe I do see myself dipping my toe in other categories that I normally wouldn't.
You know what? I feel like that'll be a fun thing for us to track is who's hitting for the cycle, who's going for it. Again, these with 10 submissions in such a short time frame, I feel like there's going to be some juicy ETH up for grabs here.
I definitely agree. It's going to be I think it's going to be a wild week, and then the voting will be really interesting to follow too. Not even just the submissions, but the voting will have its own kind of like storyline and drama and intensity to it.
And again, I mean, this live stream we're doing right now, we're 23 minutes in. This could basically be the basis of our entry for number 2, couldn't it? Maybe we do some infographics. Maybe we do, another show halfway through or after the proposals have been submitted. But I feel like we've already got number 2 knocked out. Number 3, we come up with something IRL. And then number 1, I'm already working on this iOS app with Jash. So I kind of just got to keep doing number 2 and then figure out something IRL and weird. But man, this is my specialty. Weird? Come on.
Yeah, if I don't see a submission from you, I'll be wondering what happened.
I'm definitely going to go for the cycle. We'll see what happens. But this is too juicy for me to resist. Yeah, let's see. We got a little bit more time. Should we talk about the Noun Square round? This is sort of a satellite event in addition to the main event. This looks like a different snapshot, slightly different snapshot. 0.4 ETH times 5. And they're looking for a content creation challenge. Man, this is right up our alley.
yeah, I could see you might hit for the cycle or grand slam, and then you get another at bat. But kind of like with the whole headless theme of the round, other communities and organizations were kind of encouraged to build on top of Hack Week, run their own, and so Noun Square took that opportunity as they usually do. They're kind of tend to be pioneers in going along with nouns and trying to support other initiatives. And so we see that here. They're supporting this Hack Week initiative by putting up their own funding, 2 ETH total. Slightly different parameters. The deadline's a little bit longer. I think that it just went live, so it went live a little bit later. And of course, different voters. Yeah, so not noun holders explicitly, unless they happen to kind of overlap. But again, a fairly open round. I think they just want to see people make some stuff.
Now, Nounsler, you are an Nounsler, right? So
I
you are
am.
going to be eligible to vote here.
Yes, I will.
Do you vote for yourself in rounds, or what's your philosophy on that?
I have never I have never personally voted for myself. I tend to also delegate my vote out to other people. But I'm hit or miss on it. Obviously, you're totally allowed to. There's nothing stopping you from voting for yourself. And in some ways, it's kind of silly if you don't, because if anyone should vote for you, it should probably be yourself.
Yeah, this is going to be about $688, man. That's a healthy amount for just doing a Twitter thread potentially, or a Medium article. Yeah. What anything in particular you'd like to see as a voter, other than pandas?
Pandas are a good one. Yeah, I kind of like to see interesting nounish artwork personally, maybe some animations. That's kind of what I find myself drawn to. Like meme, derivative, funny, like nounish artwork. That's what draws me in. Some people that like if someone can tap into nouns and portray that they understand the culture, then I'm for it.
Awesome. Well, we are just kicking off Hack Week here. Again, this Hack Week runs all week, March 27 to April 2nd. We'll probably do a mid-game show, maybe right after the props are done. We'll get an update on my Grand Slam quest. I guess I'm going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm going for 5 entries because I don't think I'm going to be eligible for number 4. Yeah. Any other closing thoughts? Anything you're looking for in particular as sort of an analyst, as a watcher of Prop House?
I mean, this is kind of like a weird side point, but on this new contributor, I mean, we've talked a lot about how like nouns can kind of reimagine their identity by just simply transferring a noun to a new wallet, selling a noun and like rebuying one. So I don't know, new contributor. Could we see like the rise of an alter ego? And does that count? A little out there, but like nothing's stopping you from launching a new alter ego and coming in as a new contributor.
Interesting.
Not that I'm encouraging that, but you never know.
I have been working on an alter ego voter persona, which I'm calling, let's see, where is it? ETH Andrew Carnegie. This is my robber baron alter ego voter persona. So maybe
he makes an appearance.
maybe he will. Yeah, and so let's just to wrap this up here. You also get support from the Explorer Grants team on both 4 and 5. That could be really invaluable. I've had Drew Kaufman, I've had Martin on the stream. The Explorer Grants team is Lil Dot, Martin. They are very heavily plugged in nouns, little nouns. So that kind of extra support to help you make connections, to help you build, that could really be invaluable. So I feel like we can't bury the lead here on this. This will be a lot of fun to watch.
Yeah, I'm excited to see what comes up this week. And I hope that it's a success so that we can kind of get a lot more of these going, maybe 2 times a year, every year, maybe even more. I don't know. I don't see why this couldn't happen more often. But I think this one will set the stage well for future rounds.
Absolutely. All right. Well, that's it for this show. That's a wrap. We did a tight 30 minutes here. This has been a nice preview show. I am Lil Panda WTF. You are Index Card. We are building a bunch of live stream stuff. But for now, you can probably look for us to do a mid-season update show, and then we'll probably do a wrap-up, hopefully. Interesting to see who submits. I'm going to be looking for some index card submissions, and yeah, gosh, it's going to be a fun week here. This has really kind of invigorated me on a Monday. Got a lot of ETH up for grabs, and it'll be fun to see what happens.
Yeah, well said. Submit your props. We'll see you on our next show and get to hacking.